Decisive blow after blow pushed the Muslims out of the peninsula, and officially in the 15th century, the Reconquista came to an end. And all that remains of Abd al-Rahman is a statue in a coastal city. The city where he entered the peninsula. Though it isn't clear what happened together, we like to think they stayed together after all that happened, living a long life as prince, ruler, and most importantly, his friend. Oh, by the way, this guy that tried to kill Abd al-Rahman is actually a Patreon supporter. If you want to get your own loot league in this video as well, check out the Patreon. And thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Wait, if you're stupid, just become a privateer so it makes sure France doesn't become a global superpower. Alright, thanks guys. The War of the Spanish Succession is over. Well, I suppose that I gotta thank you somehow. You're fired. Get out of my office. Well, that sucks. What are we supposed to do with all these warships, cannons, and vitamin C's that we bought ourselves? We could start our own pirate republic on the strategically placed island of Nassau. Yes, let's do it. And so, over 1,500 battle-hardened Spanish, and now British-hating lads, sailed across the globe ready to claim their new hangout. And they just claimed it, even though it's one of the most strategically important spots in the Atlantic. Let's talk about that for a bit. Hi, my name is Pirate Oliver. I like pirates. Historically facts, part 1. Alright, so how did this pirate country start? Well, the year is 1666, 35 years before the War of the Spanish Succession. Or rather, the war that the family gets to own Spain and its territories, which was a lot. It was a time of peace, international friendship, and who am I kidding? Every major power was 24/7 raiding each other's colonies and ships. One day, in 1666, a young Brit almost banks his ship on the shallow shores of a very conveniently positioned island. He names it, very patriotically, Charlestown, named after the King of England. Charles I? Odd name. He starts gathering his friends, and slowly and surely, they build a small town to make it truly Charlestown and not Charles Rock, and start to trade with the nearby locals. It's a nice, cute, little colonial community. Shame I'm going to burn it down, says the Spanish admiral in 1684. And he did. The whole town was turned to charcoal, and the colonists were bullied off the island. But just like cockroaches, the British woke up again. And to throw the Spanish off, this time they named the island Nassau, named after the recently appointed Protestant King of England, William III. I don't get it. Willem was part of the Nassau family, that's why it's called Nassau. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. The British rebuilt the whole island, slapped a fancy, stronger fort on top, and audibly laughed at the Spanish every time they tried to take the island. Fast forward to the 1700s, and we are now in the early stages of the War of the Spanish Succession. England is still laughing at Spain's attempt to reclaim the island, but then Big Bro jumps in to help Spain, and the island gets flattened a second time. This time, they made sure to spray French artifacts everywhere. You know, so those annoying Brits won't return. With the whole island flattened again, it became technically it was under British rule, but in practice there was no government, no defense, and no law. Just a beautiful empty buildings and broken walls. Yep, don't mind me, I'm just selling rum. Oh no. Run! Ever heard of Blackbeard? How about Jack Rackham? Hey, that's me. Maybe Charles Vane. All these pirate legends had their pirate careers from Nassau. Hell, even the most known pirate flag is from Nassau itself. But just like a crew needs a captain, Nassau needed a pirate governor. Meet, and I'm not making this name up, Benjamin Hornigold. You couldn't get a more pirate name even if you tried. As a privateer turned pirate, everything else that was included on the island said, alright, if we want this all to work out, we need to put some rules on the ground. He gathers the captains, tells them to put the swords down, to stop headbutting over whose pirate is actually cooler, and finally start building what would become the world's first accidentally democratic pirate commune. And the pirates? They listened. Effectively, Hornigold forged himself into becoming the first president of the Pirate Republic. His first act as president was to enforce rules. For example, from now on, crews voted for their captains. No longer the loudest guy gets to automatically be the leader. Another big reform was that loot was now to be shared fairly. And most reforming of them all, if you lost, for example, a leg during battle, you got compensated for the leg. But Hornigold, for all his pirateness, had one very weird quirk. He refused to attack English ships. Like, he would heavily rob a Spanish galleon blind, torch a French sloop, and pants a Dutch merchant captain in broad daylight. But if you were flying the Union Jack, he would tip his hat and say, "Cheerio, mate." Which was a little awkward, considering the entire point of Nassau was just taking it to the British Empire. So, after ruling the pirate country for 3 years, the pirates voted for a different president. And he was succeeded by none other than his spooky bearded apprentice, Edward Teach, aka Blackbeard wasn't interested in building a republic, he was building a brand. He lit fuses in his beard, strapped pistols across his chest, and draped himself in black like a pirate in Batman. Okay, show off, you might think, but this whole brand building was actually genius. The stories of him and his crew became known all across the Atlantic. Everyone was afraid of the pirate maniac. Merchant ships surrendered the moment they saw his flag, practically donating the loot. Nassau flourished. And maybe one or two close husbands. Pirates of all flags poured into Nassau. British, Irish, American, Afro-Caribbean, even a few confused Scandinavians. Nassau had become the Las Vegas of the Atlantic. No rules, no kings, and definitely no taxes. Cool, said Blackbeard during his third year as a president. Anyway, I'm bored. So he sailed north, made deals, blockaded entire ports, and left the Republic in somewhat capable hands? Well, not more capable than the sponsor of this video, Quillbot. I like writing about pirates, and well, I guess about history too, but grammar is hard, man. Especially because I'm Dutch, so I'm basically handicapped. That's where Quillbot comes in. It's an AI writing tool that helps you rewrite, rephrase, and polish your sentences. You just paste your text in, and Quillbot gives you smarter, cleaner versions. No more losing arguments because of typos. It also checks your grammar, spelling, and even helps with citations, which is great if you like writing essays.
There's not much time left.
Operator's grip.
They never do what hit him.
Hello.
Enemy down. Target acquired. In combat. In combat. In combat.
Operator's grip.